With every new Star Wars show comes much speculation, and while some of these theories are laughable and ridiculous, some of them with more evidence to back them up can be believable. So today, I'll confirm what the fandom knows so far, from Sam Witwer being in the credits suggesting a Star Killer Inquisitor, to the orange lightsabers that were inspired by Dave Filoni's childhood, where he thought that Vader's lightsaber looked orange sometimes.
It's not true.
First off, the new Inquisitor that was first teased in the trailer and can now be seen in our released episodes so far, especially in their fight with Ahsoka in episode 2, has been officially named Marok and serves under Morgan Elsbeth as a mercenary. Now, some people have pronounced the name as Merrick, so it could either be Marok or Merrick, we haven't heard it in the show yet, but based off of Wikipedia, they're actually apparently a former Imperial Inquisitor as well, and a recent theory has surfaced suggesting that Galen Merrick, aka Starkiller from Legends, will finally be making his way into canon, with him being revealed as the Inquisitor. For those unfamiliar with Starkiller, a summary of his story is that he was born on Kashyyyk from two Jedi named Kinto Merrick and Mali Merrick right after the end of the Clone Wars. But Darth Vader fought and killed Kinto, taking Galen away and then raising him under the ways of the dark side for the next 17 years. And he became a secret agent for the Empire known as Starkiller that in this timeline died shortly after, turning to the light side into BBY. And all of this lore is actually from the Force Unleashed video game, which I haven't played, so I didn't really know any of this stuff, and it seems kind of weird to me that Vader would have a 17-year-old apprentice, but hey, I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of people love that game, so I'm not going to talk bad about it, but some reasons that the fans believe this could be the Inquisitor are that the name Merrick is similar to Marok, and Sam Witwer, who gave the voice and performance for Starkiller in the game, is listed in the credits of an episode of Ahsoka under additional voices. And also, according to a stream clip of Sam Witwer, Dave Filoni has thought about the Starkiller character and that he even for a moment considered using him as an Inquisitor in some place or another, so this would be very cool to see the two apprentices of Vader and Anakin doing it out, and the only way this could be possible to work with the former story that we just discussed is if Galen's clone was in fact Merrick, but to argue against this, Disney wouldn't use a big character like Starkiller for such a small role, and also his power level is probably too much for them anyway to want to include in this series. Also, to debunk Sam Witwer in the credits, he has been providing background voices for random characters and performances for like random stormtroopers on a consistent basis for the last 10 years, so this is most likely him doing one of those. And trust me, it's either this or Darth Maul back with a Finnick Shand stomach on top of his robot legs, which means that yes, Han Solo never died and he got a robot stomach, which also means that this random stormtrooper shot in the stomach here didn't die and he got a robot. Our next big theory is that with that big hyperspace ring shown at the end of episode 2 that will lead the villains to Thrawn, its name right now is the Eye of Sion, which ties into Darth Sion, an ancient Sith also from Legends that I'll briefly explain to catch you up. Darth Sion, also known as the Lord of Pain, was a guy that fought under Exod Kun's Sith Empire up until he was killed, but he didn't die and instead became immortal with a fractured body that was decomposing and held together by the dark side of the Force. He also helped form the Sith triumvirate of Sion, Traya, and Nihilus, and was skilled in the powers of Force Whirlwind and Force Rage. He also died when Traya convinced him to let go of his rage that let him die and come back each time, setting him finally to peace. And yeah, you've probably seen this guy around before in Legends and stuff. He's the guy with that big spot in his head that's like cracked up and stuff. You know, like literally. In Ahsoka, the Eye of Sion, however, was a massive circular starship with 3 clusters of hyperdrive engines at the port, starboard, and ventral positions that was made up of super Star Destroyer engines, which came from the secret operation on Corellia under Morgan Elsbeth. And also about the Morgan Elsbeth character, it's kind of weird for me to hear it every time in the show because actually my name in real life is Morgan, So every time I hear it, it's just weird, and it's cool to hear all the characters say my name all the time in the show. The vessel and bridge were operated by HK-87 assassin droids, but nothing is known about the name connection yet, so perhaps a character will reference him in the show to explain its power, or more likely it will just be a name that means nothing unless you are a Legends fan. Also, Balin's skull does officially have an orange-red lightsaber in Ahsoka, which debunks when all the people that said it was just a VFX mistake back when the trailer came out, and I also feel like this should have been pretty obvious, as Dave isn't known for making mistakes like this and would surely have overseen the editing stages of the series. Instead, this is not an orange lightsaber, not a red lightsaber, but a mix of the two, which aligns with Balin's skull being a surviving Jedi that has now become a mercenary. So it kind of sucks that we haven't really seen an orange lightsaber in shows, and the first one is just an orange-red lightsaber, but hey, it is what it is. It still looks really cool in my opinion. And may I say that Ray Stevenson's performance has been truly great so far. Please allow me a moment to pray for him. Okay, thank you. But also, Shin Hati has her own orange-red lightsaber, and Dave Filoni has explained this by confirming the blade color is intentional and that it was inspired from when he was a kid, and he always thought that the Vader lightsaber fluctuated from red to a more orangish color in the effects, and that he wants kids watching the show to see this and then not be as sure of their alignments as to whether they are good guys or bad guys. This means that these sabers are definitely red-orange, and not just orange or red and a VFX error. However, for our next theory, Hayden Christensen is actually listed in the cast for Ahsoka as Anakin Skywalker, at least going off of Google, and while Disney hasn't explicitly confirmed this casting, Hayden also was asked about it and did the whole "I couldn't tell you" routine when asked about his involvement, rather than denying it, which pretty much confirms this.
I don't know about that one, yeah.
And yeah, I think there were some theories that Anakin and Ahsoka would have some sort of flashback and fight on Mustafar, but that doesn't really make any sense, and maybe in a vision or something. But I also wouldn't really want them to mess with the Revenge of the Sith scene. However, I guess if anyone is going to, Dave Filoni is the guy. Going back to Merrick or Marok, on top of the Starkiller theory, there is also one circulating that states Ezra Bridger could be the newly seen Inquisitor in the show. This would on one hand be extremely cool because it would be such a twist that the character we've been searching for is in fact the Inquisitor, and this would also give us more of a reason to fill in the story we missed. Some evidence to support this theory is that the stuntman who plays Marok is the same height as Iman Esfandi and also looks relatively similar, at least from afar. However, to prove this theory wrong, Dave cares way too much about the characters like Ezra and Kanan to have his whole story and sacrifice be diminished by a cheesy twist. Also, Merrick would have been an Inquisitor when Ezra was a kid, so unless the Empire is chill with child abuse and a 14-year-old Inquisitor, then there is a problem here. Next up is the theory that via the world between worlds, the father, son, and the daughter would return and bring back their balance, with Ahsoka as the daughter, Starkiller as the son, and a fully redeemed Anakin or Vader as the father, which aligns with him being both of their masters as well as the chosen one. Also, Dave Filoni has done a lot of content including the Mortis Gods, from the Clone Wars where they originated to Rebels, where not only is there mural tied to the world between worlds, but also the owl of the daughter is always seen following Ahsoka. But this will definitely not happen since Dave Filoni cares far too much about George Lucas's vision, luckily, to ruin Anakin's redemption with this concept. Next up is probably the most serious theory of the bunch, which states that since Ahsoka was fighting an Inquisitor on a scrapper planet while also wearing a poncho, this means that she is Cal Kestis. And this has been confirmed by Cameron Monaghan, who says Ahsoka is Cal Kestis, and Dave Filoni, who says Ahsoka is Cal Kestis. And let's not forget about Wikipedia, which lists Ahsoka as in fact being Cal Kestis. Last theory of the day is that when Sabine is cutting her hair, and this is an obvious homage or parallel to Rebels when Kanan cuts his hair before the finale, that, spoilers, is right before he dies, which means that Sabine will die soon. So this is possible, but I honestly doubt that they would kill off her character before really building it out more. But anyway, that's it for this video. You can subscribe if you want to. I upload every Friday at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, I post shorts on Saturday, but yeah, see ya.